A warm welcome to everyone present here today. I'm Hafsa Azhar Ansari, and my co-host here is Sahil Madan. And we are first years from the Nalsar University of Law and members of the organizing committee of the third edition of the Nalsar CCI Antitrust Moot in collaboration with Trilegal. I will now be starting the closing ceremony of this edition that lasted about 3 days and was honored with participation from excellent institutions throughout the country. It is with great pleasure that I announce that this edition witnessed an astounding 114 registrations, making it the largest antitrust moot of the nation. We would like to recognize and appreciate everyone's efforts for working so hard all this while and for staying with us till the very end here today. I will now introduce and thank the panelists. Firstly, the chief guest for today, retired Justice M.S.K. Jaiswal, sir. Firstly, for being a part of the bench and for honoring us with his presence here today. Justice Jaiswal is the judge of the High Court of the Judicature at Hyderabad for the state of Telangana and the state of Andhra Pradesh. I request the Vice Chancellor, sir, to present Justice Jaiswal, sir, with a memento. I would now like to thank Ms. Jyoti Jinkar Bhano. She has 28 years of experience in the regulatory space and currently serves as an economic advisor at the Competition Commission of India. I request the organization committee head, Mr. Vikrant Saraf, to present ma'am with a memento. Now, I thank Mr. Sitesh Mukherjee, former partner at Trilegal and presently a senior advocate at the Supreme Court of India, for gracing this occasion and being part of the finals bench. I request the organizing committee head to present sir with a memento. I now thank Ms. Nisha Kaur Oberoi, partner and national head of the competition team at Trilegal. I request the organizing committee head to present ma'am with a memento. Next, we have our very own Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Sri Krishna Deva Rao, who needs no introduction. I request the organizing committee head to present sir with a memento. I present Saurabh Bhati, sir, again our very own. I request the organizing committee head to present sir with a memento. Now, I thank everyone who judged the benches in semifinals, the quarters, and the prelims. The semifinal benches include Ms. Bhavna Gulati, Mr. Vipul Puri, Mr. Abhishek Venkataraman, Ms. Yugandhra Khanekwar, Mr. Rudresh Singh, Mr. Gautam Chawla, Mr. Anushman, Mr. Vinay Bhatia. The quarters bench. The quarters bench included Ms. Harshita Parmar, Mr. Sarthak Pandey, Ms. Sambhavi Sinha, Ms. Rahat Dhawan, Mr. Pranav Satyam, Mr. Divya Sharma, Mr. Anand Shri, and Ms. Akriti Shetty. The prelims bench included Ms. Afreen Abasi, Ms. Shivangi Chawla, Mr. Ishan Arora, Ms. Prerna De, Ms. Samridha Guptu, Mr. Pramotesh Mukherjee, Ms. Vrinda Nagpal, Ms. Meher Dang, Ms. Kirthana Keswan, Ms. Vasudha Verma, and Ms. Simran Kathuria. I would like to request the organizing committee head to give a memento to Ms. Bhavna Gulati. I would like to request the organizing committee head to present a memento to Mr. Vipul Puri. I now request Justice MSK Jaiswal sir to give a brief address to everyone present here today.
Good afternoon to all the ladies and gentlemen on the dais and off the dais. I feel honored and privileged to declare conclusion of the third edition of the Nalsar Antitrust Moot Court Competition 2024, spanning over a period of a week with extensive mooting activities involving around 114 teams. It would have been indeed a grueling and Herculean task for all the participants and different stakeholders in this festival of moot court activities. The subject chosen by the concerned authorities itself is of such a magnitude that it needed a lot of hard work and dedication in both preparation and presentation. Kindly accept my hearty greetings and good wishes to all the participants, including the winners, the runners-up, and others. Being successful in a moot court competition, though very laudable and praiseworthy, at the same time, the other participants need not lose their hearts. Success and failure in such events should neither make you complacent nor nervous. Even the best of brains among the legal fraternity cannot boast of cent% success. Success depends upon the facts of the case in your hand, the legal position, and the intellectual ability and the oratory skills of the advocates. If any one of them is poor, you may not succeed, howsoever brilliantly and effectively you put forth your case. The prospective entrants in the legal field have got ample opportunities and several facilities which the people of our generation were denied. Even during your college days, you people are exposed to the practical side of the profession, and attempts are being made to churn out the best out of you and throw you in the field of advocacy. About the subject, there are experts are there who will be speaking, but unfortunately, I never had a chance to handle such matters, even though in a long span of my judicial career. But what I could gather is that this competitive act, isn't it? Competition Act of 2002 has replaced the monopoly MRTP we used to call, which was there in 1969, and it held the field till about 2003. With the advancement in technology and development and globally change scenario, need arises for the lawmakers to look into the old legislations which to some extent were not able to meet the requirements of the changed scenario. In the afternoon, my learned vice VC was saying that in 1986 has seen very important legislations, and really I agree with him. It was a very important year insofar as the innovative way of legislations were thought of and introduced in the country. Law is flexible. It needs to be constantly changed so as to meet the requirements. For example, in our olden days, we never heard of this technology, computer, software, digital, laptops, phones, piracies, digital these problems, cyber crimes. We were never hearing about that. At best, we are only dealing with 420 IPC, 337 IPC, this thing, that thing, that's all. But now, even we are finding it difficult to comprehend the advancement of the technology. You people are very fortunate. This younger generation are very fortunate because you are having the opportunity to learn things. You are having the entire information is in your palms nowadays. My colleagues may agree, old colleagues, we used to struggle and burn the night lamp to locate any case law on the subject. The voluminous books used to be there on our tables, and we used to grapple with the books. But now it has been so simplified that with the click of the button, you are getting the information. Such an advancement in technology has come, so you people are very fortunate. Only thing is, try to use it, but don't misuse it, because technology is a very dangerous weapon in our hands. Any element of misuse will lead to serious consequences. You might have read recently, I think in Supreme Court or somewhere, the advocates, they have given the written submissions, they have cited the judgments which are not all relevant. Ostensibly, that was based upon the Google Play, whatever you call. So sometimes, it will be also mislead you. So be guarded, be careful while using the technology. See that it serves your purpose, but you do not become subservient of the technology. The ultimate aim and object of any legislation, more particularly this CA, Competitive Act, is the paramount welfare of the consumer. Any industry exists for the consumer and not vice versa. I always used to tell my friends when I was presiding over the State Commission for 5 years, on fine morning, if there are no consumers, where are we? Even the so-called multinational companies cannot exist but for the consumers. So the paramount importance and the consideration will be how best you can serve the needs of the consumers is what is to be kept in mind by the industrial sectors. Competition, yes, there should be competition, but it should not be a cutthroat competition. It should be a healthy competition. Otherwise, I think people of my generation know about what is called that license Raj and permit Raj. You younger generation are fortunately denied of that, seeing those days. Permit Raj and license Raj. Even getting sugar, kerosene, rice, petrol, wheat, motorcycle, scooter, car, everything used to depend upon that fancy of the companies. We used to wait for months together and years together. In our days when we were getting married, there was a convention of giving either, if they're poor, cycle, if not, a scooter in the marriage. In those days, they used to book that Vespa and give the slip of booking of the Vespa in the marriage. The Vespa used to come when the son becomes capable of driving the Vespa. So those were the days. Everything was, checked, license Raj, permit Raj. Thanks to the global evolution in our own government of 30 years back, this change has brought about. And now You can do window shopping of even the so-called the Merc-Benz or whatever, the so-called BMW, this thing, that thing. Forget about the scooters and all that. But the only difference is, at that time it was 10,000, now it is more than 1 lakh. The cost of a scooter was 9,000 or so, now it is more than 1 lakh, nothing less than 1 lakh. So that is the price we have to pay. So the competition should be, the main object should be live and let live. Everybody should sustain in the market. There should not be, any act which affects the fiber of the competitor in the field. Mergers and acquisitions, that has to be checked, because big shark eating away small fish is not what is contemplated. Subject to correction, and I don't know whether economists agree with me or not, but India is still not a full-fledged developed country. We have still poverty levels far below. So there should be equal play field to everybody. I often give an example, brothers. The growth, mushroom growth of these malls and the big shops, it is very good for us. It's very convenient for us. But, personally speaking, I don't approve of it as much as the society is accepting, because the masters have become servants now. The masters, the proprietors of small kirana shops, we call kottu, small shops, they were masters, they were engaging some 1 or 2 persons. Now they have to close down their shops and work in big shopping malls as servants. So this advancement will also have pros and cons. For example, pricing factor. In our days, a 10 paisa increase in petrol cost per liter used to lead to agitation for at least 2-3 days. 5 paisa increase in RTC bus fare, strike by students. 1 rupee increase in the bus pass for students, strike for 3-4 days. Now, the things are completely changed. The government, the authorities provide that every 15 days, they can revise the prices. Nobody is even questioning. Sometimes, people of our generation will be surprised. What's happening? They're increasing 10 rupees, 5 rupees per liter, and nobody's even opening their mouth, leave alone protesting about that. So these things are there, pros and cons will be there with everything. When you have got everything in the open market, you have to shell down huge cost. That is nothing. This open trade and opaqueness in the trade should be narrowed down, because the pricing aspect is ultimately pinching the purse of the consumer. Each one of us now is heavily indebted. That EMI culture, where we are leading to. In our days, we were told that you should not buy anything unless you have the funds for it. Nowadays, not that way. We buy it first, use it first, and even before the EMI comes to end, the product will become outmoded. So these changes are there, but we have to be very careful in that. And before parting, since some advocate, law graduate students are there, with the permission of the chair, I would like to give small tips. Kindly bear with me. Because whenever I see young advocates, we see our past. And we recollect our past and we see our tomorrow in you. You people are the torch bearers of the society. I often say, you can be either a torch bearer or a pall bearer. I think you know the meaning of pall bearer. A pall bearer is a person who carries the coffin on their shoulders. So the society, the well-being of the society is in your hands. You must be a leader. You must guide their destiny by just like a torch guides you. So you must be a torch bearer, but not a pall bearer. So kindly keep in mind these things, and the entire responsibility of guiding the society is in your hands, the future generations. I will tell one small, any time restraint, we see here? One small incident I will tell you. What happened in the olden days when we were doing law and all that, we were not having the practice of going to courts or that internship or moot court or even going to some advocate's office. So one young boy joined the senior's office, a very leading senior's office. So on the very first day, the senior advocate gives him a petition and says, Babu, this is a petition filed under section 70 subclause 2 CRPC for recall of warrant. Tomorrow morning, you go to so-and-so court and submit the petition before the honorable court, and everything will be done. That boy, being the first day, he will be perplexed and surprised. He will be shivering. Today is the first day for me. I don't know what has to do, what I have to submit, what the judge will ask. The judge will be asking questions. Then the senior says only one thing. Don't worry, Baba. The judge will be asking you 10 questions. Your answer to each question should be, show him Article 32. To each question by the judge, you show him Article 32. Then that young boy who was very smart in constitutional law said, what is Article 32 to do with the recalling a warrant? It has got nothing to do with the 32, you know everything. What is the 32 of the Constitution? It's one of the part of the fundamental rights, which gives liberty to a person to move the Supreme Court. So, sir, what is Article 32 to do with the recall warrant? Then he says, not Constitution, show your 32 teeth. For every question, you smile so broadly that all your teeth are visible to the judge. He will grant you the relief. So those were the days we used to be trained like that. If you don't know anything, give a broad smile. But that broad smile itself indicates to the judge that he is a new man, new boy, but still is picking up. And generously we will grant relief. Left to myself, I was very generous when I see young junior advocates. Sometimes we used to go out of the way to accommodate young advocates so that they won't get discouraged. I used to openly say, if the petition is to be dismissed, I will ask your senior to come. But if it's to be allowed, you get the credit. You argue sometimes, I will give you the relief. So you can go and tell your senior, sir, I succeeded in the court today. If it is against you, I won't pass any orders, you get your senior. That used to be our approach in how to chisel the younger generations. So the concept of moot court is the best way of preparing you, coupled with regular court visits during your college days. The main object, as you all know, is to prepare the students for persuasive advocacy within an academic environment. This will inculcate the skills of advocacy during the college days, and the students are trained to develop persuasive skills. This is a very, very important aspect for legal profession. Persuasive skills, which are very important in the profession. This is where you argue hypothetical cases for gaining practice. These are designed to test critical thinking and problem-solving abilities of the students. These competitions present complex legal issues that require participants to think creatively, analytically, and find solutions. In order to succeed in the profession, the important quality according to me is you must have sharp reflexes and ability to anticipate. And you need to improve. You improvise your submission then and there. While preparing for the moot court exercise, you need to research the legal issue. This job of yours has been considerably simplified. Drafting of the briefs is another challenging area where you have to fine-tune your skills. Precision and brevity are the twin factors which you must inculcate. Practicing your oral arguments. Some people feel hesitant to speak. We, out of our experience, we came across people who were very good draftsmen, good penmen, but poor orators. They can't open their mouth. Similarly, vice versa, we have come across people who are very good in arguments, but poor in drafting. So both these things will coexist. You must have the capacity to draft properly, precisely, bravely, and to the point, and submit your arguments depending upon the facts. You must be confident in your presentations. It is difficult to convince the jury when you yourself do not have the confidence. You can achieve perfection by submitting your arguments and constant practice. So you must be submissive. This is another art of good advocacy. You must be submissive and polite in making your submissions, but should never surrender. There's a lot of difference between submissiveness and surrendering before the court. You are not supposed to surrender. Simply because you address the court as my lord, your honor, my lordship, don't think that you are in any way inferior to us. I always feel that you are more learned than we people on the bench. The advocates are more learned than the judges because they learn more, they study more. Only by destiny you refer to as so and so lordship, this thing, that thing, but you are more learned. You must exhibit your qualities there. You must convince the bench, but not please the galleries. We come across some advocates, who argue for the sake of parties who are sitting before them. You all have been taught about the 7 lamps of advocacy. I don't want to waste much time. And when the atmosphere, this is very important, brother, when the atmosphere hearing is getting charged up, generally it happens. You must use the skill of adding bit of humor and wit. Here again, I will tell a small incident which happened in my court. I was presiding over in the High Court. I was hearing matters under SURFACE Act as well as dissolution of marriage. One day, the wife filed a petition to dissolve the marriage, divorce, solely on the ground of the husband being impotent. Impotency is the ground of divorce. So she filed the case seeking for dissolution of marriage on the ground of husband being impotent. Both parties came. This side, wife and her mother, along with the senior counsel, was standing. This side, husband, his mother, and senior counsel was standing. The advocate started arguing wife. During the course of arguments, at least 5-10 times, he was using the word impotent, because naturally, that was the mainstay of the case. Whenever the advocate was using the word impotent, the husband and his mother, including the advocate, were getting flared up. What is this? What is this? All false allegations. She is branding me as impotent. It's all false. So naturally, it hurts the ego of a man. Whenever that advocate used to say impotent, they were shouting. Then the advocate for petitioner said, my lord, whenever I am saying the main point of my argument, they are opposing like that. What should I do? They are interrupting my arguments. Then I said, brother, you do one thing. Whenever there's a need for you to say impotent, use the word NPA. In SURFACE, you know what is NPA? Non-performing asset. If you tell your husband that is a non-performing asset, the husband will not understand that. I will understand. Counsel will understand. But the party may not be knowing that you are accusing him of being impotent. So whenever there's a need for you to use the word impotent, kindly use the word NPA, that is non-performing asset. It is most appropriate usage also, isn't it? So such things, you must develop. Even during arguments, if need arise, you should raise above the interest of the client and make the atmosphere to be very cool and composed. So, okay, Deji, I think I will transgress my limits. I'm sorry for that, but I felt like sharing some of my experience with you. Kindly pardon me. I wish all of you a bright future, and we look ahead at you whenever we see young advocates arguing the matters before us. We feel proud that yes, the universities are churning out good students. Hats off and credit goes to people like our Rao Saab, the Vice Chancellor of Nalsar, who is day in and day out toiling very hard only for the benefit of you people, not for he and not for him or not for we. He and his faculty, team of faculty, are working hard only for your benefit, your well-being. Kindly bear that in mind. And wherever you go, you must say that proudly you are the product of Nalsar, Hyderabad. That will be the real day, a real great day for all of us, including me and your Vice Chancellor and your faculty. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir. We will definitely strive to live by the ideals that you have set for us. So thank you. At this instant, I would like to thank the title sponsors for this event, Competition Commission of India and Trilateral, for making this competition the grand success that it is. And in that spirit, we are definitely excited to hear from, again, the very people that have made our very competition a great success. So I would first like to invite Ms. Jyoti Jingar Bhano, currently serving as the Economic Advisor at the Competition Commission of India, for addressing the room. Thank you.
Honorable Justice M.S. Jaiswal, Dr. Rao, my colleagues on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor and privilege to be with you today at the conclusion of what has been an illuminating and inspiring final round of Antitrust Moot Court competition here at Nalsar University. As we gather in the spirit of academic excellence and legal scholarship, I am reminded of the vital role that institutions like Nalsar play in shaping the legal minds of tomorrow. The Competition Commission of India, as you may know, operates with a clear mandate to enforce the Competition Act, ensuring fair and healthy competition across all sectors of the economy. At the heart of our efforts is the advocacy of competition principles, a mission that extends beyond the courtrooms and into the realm of academia and public discourse. It is our firm belief that a well-informed society is the bedrock of a competitive marketplace. In line with these beliefs, the CCI places great emphasis on engaging with the academic community, sponsoring events like this Moot Court competition. It is through such engagements that we aim to foster a deeper understanding of antitrust laws among the future leaders like yours. And we see that these opportunities not just as competitions, but as platforms for learning, sharing, and growth. And I must say that these are very interesting, exciting times to be part of competition law. Last year, of course, the Competition Amendment Act 2023 was passed by the Parliament. And as a follow-on, various regulations have been recently notified by the Commission to operationalize the Act. And I would really encourage all of you to follow these developments, keep yourself updated. And with these developments, many new aspects of the competition law like settlement and commitment, leniency plus regime, and so on will come into being. So definitely need to read a lot, keep yourself apprised of these developments so that which will come in handy and equip you to apply them in the future. Now coming to this competition, which was organized at the outset, I must say that the case which was chosen was really very relevant, and it was in fact also very futuristic. And because with the AI coming into being in future, more often than not, we are going to actually come across challenges like this. So it did provide a lot of food for thinking. And all the students who participated in this competition, I must extend my heartfelt congratulations. Your decision to engage in this rigorous exercise of legal acumen is commendable at such a young age. And moot court competitions are definitely a crucial, I think, tool for developing not just your legal skills, but your also ability to think critically, argue persuasively, and work collaboratively in a team. And these are the skills which are very indispensable in any field today, particularly in the field of law. The rounds witnessed were a testament to the hard work, dedication, and talent that each team brought to the table. The arguments presented were not only compelling, but also reflective of deep understanding of antitrust laws and their implications. It is clear that the future of legal practice, particularly in the realm of competition law, is with bright minds like yours, is ready to take challenge of tomorrow is in the right hands. I must also acknowledge the difficult choice faced by my fellow judges and myself in selecting the winners. The quality of advocacy, the depth of research, and the strategic thinking displayed by all the teams was truly remarkable. It was a close competition, and every team should be proud of their performance. And as it was said, that there is no success and failure, it's just learning for everybody. The winners should not be complacent, and the failures the ones who did not make it should not feel, dejected. And it was a close competition with every team should be proud of, and the decisions which were difficult, were made with careful consideration and a keen awareness of the fine margins that distinguished excellence in such a competitive environment. As we move forward to the award ceremony, I encourage all participants to just view this as a stepping stone, and the lessons learned, the friendship forged, the challenges overcome during this competition will serve you well in your future endeavors. In closing, I extend my sincere thanks to Nalsar University for hosting this event, the faculty for their guidance, and the students for their enthusiastic participation. Let us continue to champion the cause of fair competition. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your address. Now we would invite Senior Advocate and ex-partner at Trilegal, Mr. Sitesh Mukherjee, for addressing the room.
With the permission of Honorable Justice Jaiswal and the Honorable Vice Chancellor, I'll share a few thoughts from here. Yes, so Honorable Justice Jaiswal, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Honorable dignitaries from the Competition Commission, my former partners at Trilegal, and practitioners and students. This is my first visit to Nalsar, and I must say I'm really blown away by the campus that I have seen here. It's a beautiful campus with great facilities. I also had the pleasure of interacting with the Honorable Vice Chancellor with regard to cutting-edge courses on forensics, IBC, etc., which are being offered now, apart from the mainstream curriculum, which is of very high quality. Since I am here, I must acknowledge to the Vice Chancellor that I have been reaping as a partner in law firm. I have been reaping the fruits of this great tree. I have had some wonderful associates who have passed out of this college and have been great asset to my team. Some of them have become partners in due course. So I must acknowledge that this campus has produced some wonderful students and practitioners. The moot court competition, of course, as it was said, was of very high quality. The memorials were very detailed. All facts and law were marshaled. So, that was really wonderful. I just had one small comment, and this is just the practical side of it. You are not supposed to know it, is that while we plead everything, we focus on what are our strongest points. So therefore, it is very easy to sort of start with the first point and go to the last point without thinking of which should be emphasized more. And often that can allow the opponents or the bench to trip us, because the weak argument eventually flows over to many of our stronger arguments and makes the whole case weak. So when you are addressing arguments as opposed to writing a memo, you may consider first analyzing what are your strongest points and keep the focus and your energies on that, and try and sort of not take some of the weaker points head on. The organizers have done a fantastic job, and it was from the minute when I stepped onto the airport in Hyderabad. Everything was well laid out. I was received immediately with car, excellent facilities. And I must thank the organizers for their enthusiasm in organizing this wonderful event. The competition law as a practice area is the other thing that I really wanted to, since all of you seem to be enthusiasts of competition law. I must say that this is just at the threshold of being a very, very successful practice area, like others we have seen, like arbitration or white collar. India has largely been an economy which has been focused on services. We are in the last decade been, more and more emphasis has been given to manufacturing. We are at the beginning of the capacity building cycle. So once capacity is built and all those capacities look for a market, they will be relying heavily on competition law to make sure that nobody gets an unfair advantage on any account. So in the next 5-10 years, this will be a practice area for future lawyers to look for, and may provide wonderful career opportunities. So do sort of look at it closely, and you'll find it useful. Thank you very much. It has been a lovely sort of event for me, and particularly the problem and the way everything was sort of argued was very interesting, and it gave prominence to both sides, and I loved the whole occasion. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your address. As sir mentioned, it is his first visit to Nalsar, and we certainly hope to host you again sometime. Now, we would like to invite Ms. Nisha Kaur Oberoi, the National Head of Competition Practice at Trilegal, to address the room.
Honorable Justice Jaiswal, Ms. Jyoti Jingar, Advisor, Honorable Competition Commission of India, Vipul, Bhavna, officers at the Honorable Commission, Sitesh, Senior Advocate, and last but not the least, Dr. V.C. Rao, who's also been my VC, not just your VC. And therefore, there is a whole bunch of us in the profession who have great memories of your VC, or should I say our VC, and you're incredibly lucky to be part of this institution where we've seen with your wonderful organizing committee led by Vikrant, how well this year's Moot has been pulled off. It is our second year as Trilegal being associated with the CCI Nalsar Moot, and we look forward to this continuing collaboration. Why competition law? In the early years of my practice, and I'm fairly old, I started out as an M&A lawyer because competition law was not even a subject which was taught in schools. I graduated in 2002. That's when our statute book came about, right? And it actually came into force in 2009. India is one amongst 120 countries with competition law, and every country in the world which has competition law has had demonstrable effects, including positive effects on how the economy has grown. When you get into practice, whether you're a competition lawyer or not, even if you're doing M&A, if you're doing litigation, you will realize that it's a multidisciplinary approach which cuts across every aspect of doing business. In addition, it imposes India's highest economic penalties. You will spend a lot of time with clients, with courts, and before the regulator, right? And just smiling before the regulator, unfortunately, will not get you anywhere. So you'll have to focus on building expertise. We saw a lot of that expertise in the Moot today, right? I'm reminded of our Sports Day pledge. When the great scorer comes to write against your name, he will write not whether you won or lost, but how you played the game. There were absolutely no losers today. To the best of my knowledge, not every law university in the country actually teaches competition law as a mandatory subject. I hope it happens in my lifetime. I hope a lot more of you join the profession and we see you as part of the competition bar, because like Jyoti ma'am was very express, when there's fair competition, everybody wins. On a lighter note, it was a joy to see that Nalsar has dominance in the space and in the market for antitrust moots, given that you've had the highest number of applicants this year. Keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your address. Your suggestion that this could be a greater collaboration certainly did light all of our faces back in the organizing committee up a lot. Now we would invite our beloved Vice Chancellor, Professor Sri Krishna Deva Rao, for sharing a few words with us.
Congratulations to the team which has organized such a largest competition Moot. And I also compliment Competition Commission of India, Trilegal coming together to host this with the academia like a national law school in Hyderabad. I said 1986 is not just only 3 new laws which have come up, Consumer Protection Act, Juvenile Justice and other, but that was a game changer in the legal thinking and the jurisprudential philosophy of how do you look at the dispute resolutions. Who are the people those should be involved in the dispute resolution. I think that you could see the breakthrough coming in 1986. 1986 is also another game changer with the establishment of the national law schools in India. That was the time, the first phase of the globalization. You see 2000 onwards, now adverse globalization. Competition is not just a national competition, now global competition has come. I think I'm glad that all of you have participated. Participation itself is enough. Whether you win or lose, that's an immaterial. And I always say the mooting is an experiential learning and anticipative lawyering. And a collective, the amount of time all of you spend as a team, that itself is sufficient. That you should prepare you wherever you go, whether always Justice Jaiswal and all the judges in India always will say, "Ye kahan ja raha hai law school wale? Legal profession mein kyun nahi aa raha hai?" This is always wherever we go, starting from Chief Justice of India, but I always tell them wherever they are, let them be excellent. And excellent in the arguments, knowledge, and a good human beings. And also, wherever you are, don't compromise. I think this moot, there's a third moot, is really demonstrates these qualities. And I wish all of you acquire and be a good lawyer and always say, better coming into the legal profession, but you are in a law firm also is fine, or in NGO, legal academia, acha netha bhi chahiye humko. So please remember, not just only lawyering means arguing in the court and a law firm. There's a variety of, I think this prepares you. Best wishes, and I again appreciate Saurabh and all the entire team, those who have been working very hard for this, and we look forward maybe more in number in the coming years. And again, I thank Competition Commission of India, Trilegal, and coming together. That was visualized when 1980s, the Indian legal academia, judiciary, all are thinking, Ramjet Malani, the president of the Bar Council of India, they wanted why the NLUs have come up. NLUs is legal academia, judiciary, legal profession has to come together. Now it's a time law firms have to join, corporations have to join, all of us have to collectively work together. Then only we will also learn, teachers will learn, students will learn, and we look forward maybe more participation in the coming years. I was requesting Jyoti ji, I think she should come and interact for our students. I remember the first Professor Gauri used to be in the Competition Commission of India. Naveen Chawla was the first, Ashok Chawla's daughter was also our student in NLU Delhi, and she is also bright. So we look forward, all the best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your address. I mean, we as the organizing committee, of course, sure hope that preparation for this moot was a site of some good memories amongst the teams. I think I would now invite Professor Saurabh Bharti, the faculty advisor to the Moot Court Committee at Nalsar, to share his few words.
I'll be very brief. I understand that this is getting a little prolonged, and I don't want to hold up the teams, from knowing who's the winner and who's the runners-up. So I have a very small personal anecdote to share, and that's where I asked Vikrant to give me a chance. He was quietly telling me, "Can we just go ahead with the ceremony?" But I said, "No, I do want to speak." So this is like when I was. This was my first moot in Delhi University. I'm a student of Delhi University, so I went to Punjab for my first moot. And this is particularly keeping the two teams in the finals in mind. Okay, so this is to you. And we reached the finals. Now, the day we had quarters, semis, and finals. And we reached the finals, first moot. But throughout the day, the anxiety of the very next round would keep me away from food, refreshments, water, etc. So by the end of the day, I was totally out in terms of my energy. And I was barely standing. So when our turn came to speak, I was the first speaker. I stood up to speak and I started speaking from the other side because I simply lost it. I had no clue what I'm doing. My co-speaker got up from, the rules were that you can't really prompt the speaker, but he still took the chance. He got up and he poked me with the pen just to shake me out of my, whatever state of mind was. Poking is an understatement. He almost stabbed me. That's how I came to the senses, and then I started speaking from our side. But I had already messed up the thing, so we were very sure that we are not winning. But I was so low on energy that when in the ceremony our name got called out, okay, I shouted yes, okay, and suddenly I saw that my teammates were not excited, and they're like, we are the runner-up, okay. But anyway, the message which I wanted to convey to you is that whatever be the reason, the spirit should be to celebrate the result, and particularly the experience you had at Nalsar. As I said in the beginning, we assure you good experience, and I hope I stand vindicated today. I thank our partners, CCI and Trilegal. And I also want to, give a big round of applause to organizing committee. They put in a tireless effort. Hope many of you will get more opportunities and reasons to come back to Nalsar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that extremely lovely anecdote. I think it's time for the most awaited part of the ceremony at this point, the results. But just a little bit before I get to that, I think it's wise to take a moment and appreciate everybody here for their participation. Uh, Teams here have traveled from across the country, have debated here for 3 strenuous days, and this is what has made our Moot an absolute and grand success. So, regardless of whether your names are called here today or not, I think that to us, to the organizing committee, you are the winner. So let's have a huge round of applause for everybody who has made the effort of coming here and participating. All right, let's get on with the awards. I would first announce the best researcher, for which I would like to invite Mr. Sitesh Mukherjee and Mr. Gautam Chawla for presenting the award. The award goes to Avula Veerabhadra Reddy from Central University of South Bihar from team 84. Thank you so much, sir. I would now present the runners-up for the Best Speaker Award, for which I would like to invite Ms. Jyoti Jingar Bhano and Mr. Rudresh Singh to present the award. This award goes to Lidhi C from team 83. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I will now announce the Best Speakers Award for this moot, for which I'll invite Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, and Ms. Nisha Kaur to present the award. And this award goes to Santosh from team 83. Unfortunately, he won't be here. Yeah, if any teammate is here, they could come and collect it on his behalf. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I will now announce the best memorandum for the opposition side, for which I'd invite Justice MSK Jaiswal and Ms. Bhavna Gulati for presenting the award. This award goes to none other than Team 8, which is RM and LLU. Let's have a huge round of applause for them. Please stay Team 8 because you are also the winner of the best memorandum for informant side, for which I'd invite Mr. Vipul Puri and Professor Bharti for presenting this award. Thank you, sir. I think it's time for the most awaited award of all, for which the winner, for which I'd called Miss Jyoti Jingar Bhano and Miss Nisha Korobroy to present this award. Some of you may know who it is, some of you would not. But the winner of this moot court competition, the third edition of the Nalsar Trilegal Antitrust moot court competition, is Team 26 NLU Jodhpur. And now for the runners-up, it's Team 96, Jamia Millia Islamia. Let's have a huge round of applause for them. I'll invite Honorable Retired Justice MSK Jaiswal and Mr. Sitish Mukherjee for presenting the award. Congratulations to all the winners for this very well thought out competition. I now hand the dais over to Afsa again.
On behalf of the whole organizing committee, I would like to thank our head, Vikrant Saraf, for making sure every small nitty-gritty of the event was taken care of, and so calmly taking care of all the requests and the demands that the whole organizing committee kept throwing at him. Thank you. We wouldn't have been able to do it without you. I now request you to present the vote of thanks.
I swear I didn't ask them to speak all that, but it's fine. Thank you about that. I understand it's been a very long day for everyone involved, and the most exciting part of the ceremony is over. So I'll be very brief and short. Good evening to everyone, esteemed guests, judges, participants, and the audience. As the head of the organizing committee of the third Nalsar CCI Antitrust Moot in collaboration with Trilegal, it is my distinct privilege to extend my heartfelt vote of thanks on behalf of the entire organizing committee. Today, we come together not just as participants, but as a united community of legal enthusiasts celebrating the art of advocacy, pursuit of justice, and spirit of healthy competition. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Honorable Retired Justice HSK Jaiswal for gracing us with your presence and sharing your exceptional wisdom. We also would like to thank Ms. Jyoti from the Competition Commission of India for taking out a time and coming physically to Nalsar this time. We had an honor to host her in the first edition as well. Back then it was online. And I was in my first year and part of the organizing committee. And it's an absolute pleasure to have you this time physically with us, with me now being the head of the organizing committee. A special thank goes to Mr. Sitesh Mukherjee as well for taking out the time out of his busy schedule and being with us physically in Nalsar. A special thanks goes to Ms. Nisha Korabra as well. Nothing would have been possible without the support of Trilegal in making this competition a huge success. We would also like to thank our knowledge sponsors, SCC Online and EBC, for their generous contribution, which have made this competition a great success. I would also like to thank Mr. Pulkit and Mayank, who were the research associates, who helped the Trilegal team with all the things that we could have. A special thanks goes to Ms. Meher and Mr. Pramathesh as well for all the coordinations. Nothing would have been possible. The successful coordination wouldn't have been possible without you between Trilegal and the organizing committee. I have a long list to thank about the entire organizing committee, but I don't think I'll have to speak all of his individual names. A massive thank you to all of you. A massive thank you to all the people from Nalsar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Bhati, and all the faculty and non-faculty members from Nalsar University. I would also like to express a special thanks to all my friends for handling me throughout these 4 months with all the pressure. It's Apurvaj, Jitendra, Shivnetra, Teja, Garima Malvik, everyone sitting here. In closing, I would like to reiterate that the success of this Moot Court competition is a collective achievement, and it would not have been possible without the contribution of each and every person sitting here. I'm proud to say that this time we made it the biggest antitrust moot in the entire country. We had like 113 registration, and we'll ensure that the next time it's even more bigger and massive. I apologize if there was any inconvenience from our end. We tried to do as much as we can, but everything is not in our control. So deep apologies if you had to face some inconvenience. But thank you, everyone. Finally, after 4 long months, it's coming to an end. So it's kind of an emotional, and I'm actually also very happy. I'll go back and sleep peacefully now. So I don't know what else to say. Thank you so much for everybody for being here and for all your contribution. Thank you so much.
Finally, before we conclude, I'll thank SCC and EBC as well, without whose support this competition again wouldn't have been possible. And now I'll hand it over to Hafsa to conclude.
We hope everyone here had an enriching experience and you go back with the fondest of memories about Nalsar. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to thank once again everyone who made the Moot a success, and a special thank to the Vice Chancellor, Sir, for even making this Moot possible. We now declare the third edition of the Nalsar CCI Antitrust Moot in collaboration with Trilegal officially closed.